everybody, this is Hugh and Lenora again with Lenora Edwards here to give us 3 recommendations about how to transition from being an employee to an entrepreneur, or how to become more entrepreneurial in the world of work where you are now. 3 recommendations that Lenora has for us is to know what your value proposition is and how to communicate it. Number 2, what is your secret sauce? Somewhat like McDonald's, I think. Was it McDonald's that had the secret sauce?
I think so.
McDonald's. And the 3rd is to make sure that you have the right people around you to support you. So number 1. So Lenora, let's do a little bit of just one-on-one here. So what is the value proposition? I understand it's the value you contribute and it's what you propose to do for people, but give us it from your perspective. What do you think?
So many times people talk about what it is that they do by, I call it dumbing themselves down to deliverables, or tying themselves to titles. So especially in the corporate world, it's really tempting to say, well, I'm a business analyst, or I'm a CPA.
Right.
And really, that's just a title or an affiliation, but it doesn't necessarily tell the listener exactly what you do in a distinctive way. And I think that it's important when you're thinking like an entrepreneur and certainly wanting to act like one, that you do it in a distinctive way. So value proposition says, how am I going to talk about what I do in a way that it really comes to life for the person in front of me, so it's memorable. And it also says, how do I bring value to the marketplace?
So it's output based as opposed to input, i.e. I'm a CPA, so that's the input, as opposed to what is the value that you provide to the organization for being a CPA.
Yes, that's right. Which might be, I give my company management peace of mind by giving them an accurate financial picture in which they can make their best decisions.
So do most people know what value they provide?
No. They usually, Americans are pretty busy, easy, hiding their light under a barrel.
Yeah.
And so they pretty much downplay what they do.
So you also said knowing what it is, but also how to communicate it.
Yes.
So there's 2 different parts there. So how do you, first of all, figure out what value it is? I mean, what kind of tips do you have for people to figure out what it is?
Well, when you're in the corporate world, you have the benefit of actually using all those wonderful employee reviews you've gotten over the years. And certainly when you went into the organization, you probably had a resume that a professional worked with you on. So there's going to be some nice descriptive words that talk about the results that you got in your career and in different positions. And I would use those employee reviews to give you some input. I'd also interview people around you. And talk to your boss, talk to coworkers if you're leading on a particular team or committee. Talk to them. What did I bring to the table? What is it that made this? How did I make this happen? How did my role address this situation? How did I work in this situation? And from there could be some great descriptive terms.
I think I saw on your website one of the things that you do with all your clients is you go back after an engagement and you ask them, so what was the value that my work contributed to you as an individual, to the organization? So you're saying those types of questions.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's one other thing is when I begin working with someone, when I'm learning about their strengths, when I'm finding out what gives them energy, when I'm finding out about their 10 commandments, I'm also asking if I could please interview 4 or 5 people with whom they've worked, so I can ask some very open-ended questions, so I can make sure that my client sees, I know you told me you do this, and let me tell you how people around you talk about it or exclaim about it in a really cool way.
So it seems like the value proposition really is that where you start?
Yes.
So in all the information gathering, what you're really trying to do is to find out what makes someone distinctive.
Yes, well, and it's actually 2 parts to it. What makes them distinctive? So again, that's how we work on what goes on outside of their office so that they can get business and make things happen. But I also like to help them learn about themselves, about, look, this is what you're good at, here's what's giving you energy, let's get more of this, and let's not have busyness, let's get some business.
That's great. Ooh, let's not have busyness, let's have business. I love that. Tom Peters once said, be distinct or be extinct.
That's right.
That whole piece that you're talking about,
Yes.
without the distinctiveness, you're going to be extinct as a CPA.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved what Tom Peters wrote when he wrote The Brand Is You. That was a great book. It was a great article, a series of articles that Fast Company magazine did. And I believe that he was way ahead of his time there, talking to people in the corporate world about how and who they were being was actually establishing a brand.
Absolutely. And so here's the deal. I have 10 of those books. The first person to respond on the blog about any of these will get one of those books. So, so that's going to be the end of the first one. When you come back, we're going to do the second video, which is all about your secret sauce. So come back and we'll see you momentarily.